This is Awesome St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
This Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop Convention and Ranger Stop and Pop. Have you ever wanted to see all your favorite Power Rangers together in one epic convention? Go to Ranger Stop! Ranger Stop and Pop! August 27th to the 29th, 2021! Atlanta, Georgia! Ranger Stop 8! November 11th to the 14th! Orlando, Florida! Get your tickets now! Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Yep. Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Sentai Hero Special. And I do want to apologize personally for not attending at the 10 a.m. Pacific time show because we had some technical difficulties, but we are good. We are back. And now let's get ready for the review. But without further ado, with my partner Quasar Red, let's start with our opening comments that we usually do on our show. So, what have you been up to, man?
Not much. Just coming out of the flu. It was miserable, which is why I was not able to attend the Zenkaiger Kamen Rider crossover podcast. Aside from that, not much else. What up with you? You sound like you got something.
Yeah, like I have a sore throat, and for some reason I don't know why, but is it that time already? The flu season?
And it's the middle of summer. How can people already be catching stuff?
I don't know, man. It's so confusing. So, right now I am just gonna power through this because with the problem with my throat, and also I'm gonna go check out that new movie, Snake Eyes, today, and I hope it's good. I'm hearing so many fans, like the veteran fans and the new fans, they like it or they don't like it. They change it up, but it's kind of like your own version. Like every generation has their own new style of characters, and sometimes it's good to change it up a bit, or maybe not, depending on your taste. But the most important thing about movies is the writing has to be good or the dialogue has to be good. But if not, then it's easily forgettable.
Right. Very much so, yes.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's get started. And today we're going to review the Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, the movie, the Red Battle All Sentai Rally. Now, this is the movie that takes place after episode 6. So, any of you have caught up with Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, or if you're starting Zenkaiger, I recommend watching through episode 6 and then leads up to this movie. And after you watch the movie, it is there's that special episode, the special 2 episodes with Zenkaigers with that red Zenkaiser. So that will lead to there, and then you'll continue on all the way till episode 20, which will lead to the crossover with Kamen Rider Saber.
And since this is since this takes place after episode 6, right?
Yeah.
Yes. This is before Zox, Flint, and Stacy enter the picture. So this is like this is like a team in their early days, not long after they actually just formed as a full group. So So you want to begin, or what do you want to do? Which one?
Oh, let's begin. And in the opening scene, we see, of course, the intro of the Zenkaigers, and when like Super Sentai around the world and they even mentioned like Kira Major, Ranger, and what else?
And all the other Sentai worlds.
Yes, and all the other Sentai worlds, and it leads to an explosion where the buildings are all being destroyed, and the Kikai Noi and the Toji Tento Empire are attacking the city. Then the heroes showed up, the Zenkaigers. They're doing their gear to linger, like Gatling on their guns and shooting them down, and made a very powerful entrance. Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger.
And what's funny is I think the image we just showed, I think that was like some of the early promos for Zenkaiger. So,
Yeah, but this villain, who is he? He was in like the first few episodes, and I don't know what happened to him.
I think, maybe he just disappeared for a while, and then they brought him back for this. Or I think maybe this is like the Kainoids like powered up form before they're given the gear, the other world's gears, to make the headpiece. So
yeah, so in this scene where the Zenkaigers are fighting off the Toji Tendo empires to like save the citizens that are being harmed by them. So as the fight continues on, we go to this next shot where why is like Zenkaiser like why is Kaito doing this? You know?
I'm not sure. I know Super Sentai has a thing with bouncing a ball around, and what's also funny is this was a thing in Maji Ranger with the Zords. Maybe Kaito just thought of this on a whim or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, well, whatever be the case, it apparently works, and the big explosion, yay! And the Zenkaigers have saved the day from another Kainoid. Wahoo, yay! And like everyone, like they all run off, because they all had stuff they were going to take care of, and
yeah, even the citizens were cheering on the Zenkaigers, like, yay, Zenkaiger, yay, thank you for saving us, and all that, because, they're the new Super Sentai team, and, and the whole world knows Super Sentai.
Right. And I want to say, by the way, this was actually one of my favorite. This was actually a pretty awesome intro. It was, we got to see like each of them, do personal attacks, and it was funny. Probably the best bit. I don't have an image of it, but Majin, she tricks some of the grunts into falling down some stairs, which was funny, and like the music was awesome. So overall, the intro was pretty good. Will the rest of the movie hold up? Let's see. Anyway, so we cut to we see Jiren and Kaito. They're talking and like they're thinking, hey, let's have a celebration party for defeating our typical monster. But and like they were thinking. Like Kaito wanted, what was it again?
Sukiyaki.
Sukiyaki, and Jiren wanted pizza, because he looks like Raphael and all. And like he goes, let's take the two and put them together, like pizza
Sukiyaki.
Pizza Sukiyaki, yes.
Okay, so if you all are very familiar with sukiyaki, so sukiyaki is like this Japanese dish that is prepared and served in like this what it seems like a boiling like a hot pot or something, but it could either be liquid or it could be dry like dish, and if he wants to add pizza in it, how does that fit?
Maybe they'll make the noodles and then put pizza toppings on top of it. I actually saw something like that last night where they make macaroni and then put pizza on it, or put pizza topping on it. So looked kind of yummy.
Yeah, and there are also some strange fusion dishes that I've seen, like rice cake on the grill, and on top of it is like cheese and pepperoni. It's kind of like a pizza, like rice cake, a Korean rice cake or something. But a lot of seeing Kaito having a mix of this kind of pizza sukiyaki dish, it's I should give that a shot. Like it's a risky move that if I want to eat that.
If you do, then I'll let you eat it first. Then, if you say it's good, then I'll have it.
All right.
So, okay. So we see that a Kudak, coward, during the fight, like he manages to make it back to the, the bad guy's lair, and like, Bakuas and Barashitara and all them, they're like furious with him, the coward and stuff. I was like going, how do they tell the difference between this one and another one? How do they not know another one just walked in or something? But that being said, Gigas comes up with a brilliant plan. Another gear that just like like they're going to take it and then they fuse it, and he turns into this thing.
Super Waru
Let,
Mono.
let me just say, I hope PR makes, if Zenkaiger does not get adapted into Power Rangers, I hope they find some excuse to use that costume, because that outfit, this guy looks pretty sick, doesn't he? Like he's
Oh yeah.
and like they don't even have to address like who these other characters are on him in the Power Ranger timeline. They could just say these are other monsters that just happen to fuse with him, because he just looks really cool. Anyway, so we cut to, Kaito and Juren, and like they're out shopping for their pizza noodle dish that they're going to be making. And then suddenly Kaito drops a special gear. This is not your typical Gatlinger gear. It looks like this. And you want to explain?
It's red. It's almost like the same as Zenkaiser Red's coin, but if you look at it, it's all of the Red Rangers like faces on that one coin. So this is a curious like to gear, and it turns out Kaito explained to Jiren like why he holds onto it, because it's very special to him. It was given by his parents.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yes. So no, and like he totally forgot he had it and stuff. And then in the middle of all of this, the the sorry, what? Say the name again. Sorry.
Waru Mono.
Sorry, Waru Mono. Okay, silly me. Sorry. He gets to work. He gets to work doing his evil plan, and then suddenly, we cut to the other Zenkaigers, who are, in some different random locations, of course, and like suddenly, they find themselves face to face with these familiar looking um hombres, especially if you know this monkey, you know you're in trouble. But so for those who don't know, let's get them caught up. Clem, I think you're familiar with this guy.
The ice bandit himself, the outlaw that with the cold shoulder, that is Zamigo from Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger, has returned. And wow, to see this character coming back again, it brings a lot of memory when I review Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger. And this next photo of the next villain is Bangray. So this villain is kind of like your typical bounty hunter, almost like Bosco in the world with the Zoo Ogers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, and also if you remember, he has the ability. He can actually bring old enemies back to life by touching, scanning their memory and actually making a copy of that. And also, as another side note, I hope we get that character in PR too. Like, like I said, if Zhu doesn't get adapted, find some excuse to use this. And also, Madame Odious. Yes, I know in the Sentai she has her own name in the Sentai, and it's actually a male, but this character will always be Madame Odious to me. And of course, the wicked, I can't say the name because we're PG and all, but Bosco himself has returned, and like they're all
the mighty Bosco, one of my favorite like side characters, but most memorable side villains of all time, Bosco and his pet monkey Sally.
do kind of wonder how exactly is him and Sally, working together now, given, their little last time we saw them together, the whole kaboom, their relationship kind of, exploded.
Well, maybe Warumono brought the Bosco and the Sally that were at the time were in a good working relationship at the
Mm,
time that
mm.
is not near to the end of the series in the Gokaiger world. And seeing Bosco and Sally coming back together just brings a lot of great memories from Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, and also the celebration of 10 years of Gokaiger. And I'm excited for that movie that is coming out soon as well.
Mm. Yes, yes, Zenkaiger 10 years after. You all want to see us review that. Stay
Mhm.
tuned. Anyway, so the bad guys quickly get together,
Ooh.
rounding up the other Zenkaigers. It's interesting. I find it funny. I don't know if it's like how exactly, but I guess to move the plot along, the other bad guys just happen to show up, or maybe the Warmaru has some way of detecting where they're at and stuff and sending bad guys there. Anyway, those other villains overpower the team and take them hostage to standard Rock Quarry Valley. And the Zenkaigers finally meet Warmaru himself. Anyway, and they exchange some words. You want to take it?
Yeah, it's like, wait, why are you guys doing this? You're asking the questions and you know the answer. It's because we're villains. Duh.
To quote Charkina in Lost Galaxy, "Hello, I'm evil. I lied." Or
We're evil. That's what we do. We're villains. Get over it, Zenkaiger. Okay.
anyway, and like Kaito, he's like saying, "Hey, we were going to make this dish later. I'm going to keep fighting, and no matter what you do." And then suddenly, suddenly Kaito does this, and all the villains. I can't do it right, but all the bad guys in the scene, they're just like, like,
they were all they're all like surprised for a brief moment, because how did Kaito get out of those chains? Well, it turns out it's all from Jiren's sweat.
oh,
So Kikainoid sweat?
Alpha
They
5
pro-
could sweat.
they produce perspiration?
Also, one more thing, and then you're up. So, Kaito, he manages to recover one of his Gatlinger, and like they're going, "What do you plan to do with just one gun?" You know what would have been hilarious is if he's like this, and he shot like one of the henchmen, and they recreate that moment from like the first two episodes where when the bad guys are monologuing, and then suddenly the team just shoots them, and then they're all just like, mm. And also another thing.
Yeah, I was hoping that moment would happen again, because it already happened in the two early episodes with Jiren and Gaon doing the first shot, giving the first shot on the Kikai, the Toji Tendos. But oh
Mhm.
well.
And one more thing, then you're up. So you know, he manages to get it. Kaito manages to get his Gatlinger, from Sally, and Bosco's just like, whatever. And I'm like, dude, you really got to stop forsaking stuff. It doesn't work. But anyway, um, okay, now you go, because you get to cover the cool bit.
Oh, all right. Well, at this scene, Kaito has another idea, so he tossed his wallet out, and it just slipped out the red Toji gear, that is all the red Super Sentai, all the Red Rangers and the Super Sentai series. It's a summoning coin, and when he caught it and put it in his gear to linger, it released a huge hurricane wave. It kind of brings that like hurricane feeling, but all the Red Rangers that you loved through the beginning of Super Sentai all the way till now, they are finally here. And who wouldn't start the fight without the OG himself, Aka Ranger?
Yes, Aka Ranger from Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. And also a nice little touch is the other the other the other Red Rangers from the worlds that the other Zenkaigers represent also, hand them back their guns. Also, something it's cool, but not that I didn't. I think it would have been better if it would have been done this way. Basically, the other bad guys, had the Gatlingers and they get knocked off during the tornado. But I think it would have been much cooler if it was the Red Rangers actually, during the storm, they actually kicked them out of the bad guys' hands because instead, they just happened to catch them and just oh, okay, we caught these. Here you go. This is, but but that being said, it's still a cool moment, and then suddenly all the other Red Rangers show up, and so the team decides to morph, and then we get this bit, that will kind of haunt Kaito later in the Two Kaiser two-parter, and then they do, and they do such a big roll call, but with so many Sentais, they kind of couldn't really give time to give each individual one anymore. So, Suchen's the one doing them, and it gets to the point where he even just okay, Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, Denzi Sentai Denziman, Bioman, Juren,
Yep, so fast, and it went so fast that it just created a massive explosion, boom, to introduce all of the Super Sentai Red Rangers, and this is where it leads to the biggest battle that is happening in this special movie. And let's see, as the fight goes on, Aka Ranger himself told the Zenkaigers that they should handle Warumono and leave the rest to them.
Yes, and so they go off and battle them. I think they're working on Super Megaforce logic for that scene, but basically, the Zenkaigers go off. They battle Warmaru, and he uses various abilities, to trap them or trick them or overwhelm them. And what's cool is each member of the Zenkaigers actually kind of gets each of them out of the situation, which is pretty neat. Also, a nice little touch that I'm not. Also, a very clever touch in this one scene. So, Warmaru actually uses the voice, the magic of Witch Bandora, who we all know is Empress Rita Repulsa, and uses that as an attack in a sonic wave, and we can even hear Machika Soka's cackle, which was pretty cool. Which was a pretty cool moment. And Majin, fittingly enough, she deflects it, and then we get to probably one of the funniest bits. There was also a moment where Gown, he manages, to free them from this dimensional world, and then Warmaru just thinks, "I'll just turn off the lights." He makes everything all dark and stuff, and thinking the Zenkaigers won't be able to see, and he'll take out, and it'll be easy to beat him now. And Jiren's just I can create fire, and then the other Zenkaigers, just shoot him, which was hilarious. And then it ends. You want to take it?
And also where this scene where there's Zenkaiser, well, Kaito, he delivered a rider kick. Yep, he delivered a rider kick down on Warumano, and to defeat the Warumano's world, and after defeating him, it would also break the spell of the summonings on the other villains from the past Super Sentai series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all the bad guys. So hold on. Sorry. So the bad guys all disappeared. Everything's okay, and then we get a pretty awesome appearance by Akared's in human form, and his name is I'm pulling it up right now. Pulling the name. Hold on. Kaigyo, I think. He has I think that's his last name or something. So, but he congratulates the Zenkaigers and wishes them luck protecting their world, And so
It was played by Makoto.
yes, and as we all know, he's kind of had a resurgence in the Sentai world. Like, when he came back for Gokaiger, and like I think he's provided his voice in a few other roles here and there for Zenkai for Super Sentai, with Aqua Red cameos and stuff. So it was cool to see, him and give his, um, and him giving, words of encouragement to the Zenkaigers. That was cool. And now we
Words are like you have strong hearts, don't give up, protect those who are dear to you.
yes. And so those all the other Red Rangers, they all disappear, like the Zenkaigers, start to celebrate, but then suddenly the ghost of the other Sentai suddenly appear. And Bosco says something kind of interesting. Thanks to you, our worlds have been freed from the Toji Tendos. So this makes me wonder. So remember at the beginning of the show when we saw the Toji Tendos rounding up all the other Sentai worlds, right? And
Yep.
Keeping them in prison and stuff. I was like, is that seriously how this is going to be wrapped up? I was like, they had the other Sentai worlds in their grip, and like it was like that's a pretty cool like concept, and like it would have been, and like the Zenkaigers, they can't go and save them automatically because they didn't know that the other worlds have been captured yet. And I was just like, is this really how this plot point is going to be resolved? I was like, I really hope not, or at least maybe this is what Bosco is assuming, or something. We'll just have to wait and see. I hope that this is not the end of, I hope the Toji Tendo still have the other Super Sentai worlds imprisoned, or something. Because, like I said, while the special was good, I feel like it's not exactly the best way to end that story. But with that being said, the other Zenkaigers, they mope for a bit about, freeing the other villains, but then but then Suchen's like, don't worry, the other Sentais will handle them. And so everyone's like, okay. And so they all go off to have their party with the what's again?
Their pizza sukiyaki again, and it all leads up to the end of Zenkaiger. And with Vroom curious, like, what is pizza sukiyaki? I don't get it. What is that? I'm so curious. So that's the end of the movie, and the movie ends like nearly about 26-minute runtime. And what are your thoughts and reviews on this episode?
Like I said, I think it's entertaining and fun. It's just rather basic. I'm kind of hoping, like I said, this isn't the only. Well, there's also the Kamen Rider crossover, but I'm also hoping that there's like another like big event that's going to happen in this special. And like I said, I really hope that this is not the end of the other Sentai. Like this really isn't how they plan to wrap up the other worlds being imprisoned. Like I said, I thought that was like a very interesting idea, and like it would be. And I feel like this is a rather underwhelming way to do that. But with that being said, what's also cool is what I did like about the special is the villains were fun and the action scenes were great. Probably some of the best fighting we've gotten from Zenkaiger, really. And also, it was cool to see how when they were fighting Warmaru, like each of them, uses their own abilities to free or save each other. Although what I don't get here is Vroom, like when they're trapped in the CGI cannon, like crevice, like Vroom, drives them out. But I'm like, Majin can fly. I was like, why couldn't she just get them out of there? But then again, that would have probably given her 2 moments to shine and not give Vroom anything. But overall, like I said, the special's fine. It's entertaining. It's fun. It's just, like I said, I don't know if this like really holds up as the anniversary special of the season. Maybe, like I said, I hope we get like a few other things sprinkled here and there.
Yeah.
So, okay, so ranking wise, I would probably give it an 8.
I would give it a low 8 because I feel like this episode was like a little bit fast paced onto like leading up to the villains being summoned, and I I feel like there's more to be told for this episode, but it's a movie and it leads up and it's between like and it takes after episode 6. So since this movie special like came out like couple of like more than a few weeks after we review like merely 15 episodes of Zenkaiger, we realized that okay, let's see where it goes. Now I give it a low 8, and I do like the characters, and I do love the appearance of our beloved Aqua Ranger like actor to come back because he's like it would be it's like without him there wouldn't be Super Sentai, and what would be great to celebrate 45 years than to bring the original like actor himself from as Aqua Ranger.
Right.
Yeah.
hmm
All right.
And,
Well, what's?
and also, like I said, this was a nice moment too. But anyway.
Oh yeah, you love, of course, our favorite Mighty Morphin Power Rangers making an appearance. All
And
right.
also,
So what?
and also them honoring Machika. So.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, honoring her. All right. Without further ado, let's go to the comments. Prathamish says, "Hi guys. Hey.
Hey.
Hello." And of course, our friend Pokken. Ayo.
Mm.
And he also says, "Hope y'all watch our crossover review." Yes, we'll watch it. I've already seen that. And I was part of it. And Prathamish says, "Last scene was like all the villains in ghost form. What I would say there should have been Yodana Galza also, but great to see Bosco and Zamigo back again."
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, Bosco and Zamigo, they're like pretty dangerous like side villains in their respected series for
Yes.
sure. And Prathamish says, when Aqua Ranger got demorphed after the goodbye, I would say Juru and Ko should have demorphed too.
Oh,
Oh,
that would have been great.
oh yeah, like it's like Juru and Ko from Kira Major and Real Soldier, like giving the Zenkaigers their blessing to pass on the torch to the new team Zenkaigers.
Yeah, that would have been great too. Also, like I said, I do love how in this scene when Akared's pointing out that he's not that Kaito is a white you know, like it does look like I do like the guy in the Kirame red suit. It does look like they got like Jiren's gestures down because he looks all curious, which I thought was kind of funny. So it did feel like even if the actor wasn't there, it still felt like the character was.
Yeah. And Jen says hi.
Hi,
Hey.
Jen.
Hello. And if the Zenkaiger robot voice actors would have got a chance voicing original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which would be the Majin's voice actor would be Kimberly. What about Vroom, Gowan, and Jiren's voice actors?
Hmm.
Vroom, I would pick like I would pick Jason's voice for Vroom. For Gowan, I can imagine like no, Vroom, I can imagine Billy because he has a very smart intellect, curiosity. Gowan, he would be voiced as by Zach Walter Jones, and Jiren, of course, will be voiced by Jason himself. That'll be really great if Zenkaiger ever make it to the Power Rangers. Why not have the original Power Ranger original Power Ranger actors to be voiceovers?
Right. If I could do Zenkaiger and Power Rangers, I'd probably make like these guys friends of the teams they're representing, and maybe and also like I said, I would have the characters they're representing be voiced by their actors, like Vita from Mystic Force, Dex from Overdrive, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Then Boken says, I still wish Zenkaiger gear would have Stay Caesar, Aberrate Killer form to match Zenkaiser's, and two Kaisers, Giant Caesar, and V-Rex form. Ooh.
Mm. Yeah, saying Kaiser. Well, We'll talk more about that when we get to the Zord debut.
Oh, Prathamish asks this. How would Super Warumono world would look like if he were holding Lord Zed's staff?
Yes, if they can do that, like I said, Hasbro find some excuse to use Maru's suit and then also give him Lord Zed's Z stuff. That would be sick. Just make it happen and give us a lightning figure of it too.
Prathamish says, interesting fact is the voice actor of Gaon, Yuki Kaiji, also voiced Clement in Pokemon in Japanese. Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
And Boken says, I miss Sally. She was surprisingly powerful and was done dirty by Bosco.
Hmm.
Yeah, Sally, without any doubt, like she's very like talented when it comes to close combat because she did manage to hold off Captain Marvelous from harming Bosco in like when they first debuted, so that was pretty cool.
She's pretty deadly with those symbols.
Yeah. And Obuka says, I heard they announced a Hurricaneger 20 years later movie, and I was like, has it been really 10 years since Hurricaneger 10 years later came out? Oh, if Hurricaneger ever does a 20 years later, then wow, I will be surprised to see that because 10 years after Hurricaneger was almost like the appearance when they were in Kaizoku Sentai Zenkaiger
Hmm.
then.
Whatever they do, they better make it canon to the whole show.
Oh yeah, and if they're celebrating 20 years, they probably should do a little crossover with the other past ninja like Super Sentais.
Yes,
Ninja and also Kaku Danger. Yeah.
yes. Actually, they should. If they could get Tashiro, I believe that's Kaku White. If they could get her to appear, that would be amazing.
Mm. And you guys should interview Tom Weiner. He did the voice of Nasty Knight and and the Genie Monster from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Hmm.
Mm,
Oh, he's also I think Master Vile, or that could be someone else. But if we ever run into him, we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Prathamish also says, how about a Lightning collection figure of Super Warumono World?
Yes, that would be amazing.
Oh, that will be crazy. That will be crazy. But the Hasbro will probably put a lot of much passion and effort into making that figure if possible.
Hmm.
All right, and last but not least, my dream team of Power Rangers Super Sentai team combined with Bridge, Koda, Xander, Kaguya, Stinger, and Shigeru.
That'd be quite that'd be quite a team.
Oh yeah, very quiet team.
Hmm.
All right, so that's all of our comments. And what were you about to say, Matt?
Not much. So overall, the special's good. Could have been better. It was entertaining for what it is. Hopefully, this is not the end of certain plot points. But overall, I think that about does it for today. Where can we find you, Red Star, aka Star?
All right, so you guys can find me on Instagram, cleo1031. I'm pretty easy to find, and I'm also attached to all the posts as on the Morphin Network as well. What about you?
You can find me. I am looking for my banner. Brown_K, as well as. Hold on, I'm looking for it. QR Ranger Book isn't on here. Well, Brown_K as well as QR Ranger Book. Yeah, so I think that about does it. So anything else?
Yeah, so thank you all for tuning in today's episode, and we do apologize again for the late appearance. Thank you for tuning in our review of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, the movie Red Battle, All Sentai Rally. And without further ado, of course, we were supposed to review episode 21, but then, of course, I kind of checked it up early, like during the weekend that I found out that the latest episode of Zenkaiger will not be aired until like August 1st. So hopefully by next week, I'll let you guys know when we can review the next week's episode. And let's see. A lot of things are happening in the Morphin Network, and I'm not sure, and I'm pretty sure this following week, we have like a giveaway event, and also we have like other reviews for the new like Kamen Rider show, and also the comics, and also like the Kamen Rider team is gonna review like the new series in the future that is like Kamen Rider Revice. That's kind of looks like a dinosaur themed Kamen Rider.
Yes, that should be interesting.
Oh yeah, and I know you love dinosaurs, so we should check out Kamen Rider Revice. It's like a pink T-Rex Kamen Rider looker.
Yeah, I've seen some of the toys.
Yeah, and if you check those out, they're pretty awesome. Okay, without further ado, thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys next week, and without further ado, let you guys know that all of you, we all love you, and also please stay safe, stay healthy, and we hope everybody hopefully we'll see everybody soon as possible when things are getting better and we can visit all of you at conventions or at other places that if you spot us.
Right. So, well, okay. So yes, stay safe, stay healthy, stay prosperous, and and we'll keep you updated for the next Zenkaiger reviews and anything else that'll be going on. So
yes, and to sign off, I just want to tell all of you that the same thing that Kaito says to everyone: Zenyaku Zenkai, Zenkai. All right, see you guys. Bye.
Peace.